Dear students, this is Lohit Rameske, Assistant Professor of Commerce, Srimati and Sri YR Government First Grade College, Pagoda. So, in this session, I will discuss about arguments in favor of profit maximization, which comes under the chapter uh, Business Decisions. The session 11, I'm going to discuss with this. Uh, in the previous sessions, we already discussed about that what is profit maximization and the features of profit maximization. Let us continue the topic with another title called arguments. So here in arguments means in favor means the we can say it merit side of profit maximization. So profit maximization has both merits and demerits. So in this session we'll discuss the arguments in favor of profit maximization. So here the first thing is profit is the test of economic efficiency. So definitely, every business organization or business concern is measured in terms of profit only. The profit will give you a test profit maximization. The activities towards the profit maximization is a test of economic efficiency. So it means it tells you that how you are going to use your financial sources towards the company in an economic way. So it may be about producing maximum output with minimum cost. So the company wants to minimize the cost which is incurring for its business activities, either its production of goods and services, or marketing activities, sales activities, or any activities which is connected with the business. It want to maintain the lowest cost for activities and produce maximum output. So it want to bring economy in operations. So if the company earn sufficient profit or supernormal profit means more than normal profit, so we can say the company is in economic efficiency. So here the economic efficiency can be earned by choosing a right course of actions or preparing a right course of actions, having the latest technology in their productions, and hiring or employing a skilled labors employees, and maintenance of timetable or time schedules properly, and proper implementation and execution of plans, uh, then coping with the changes. So all this will bring you a good economy in operations, or it will increase the economic efficiency of any business organization. So it will avoid the wastages, it will reduce the time wasters, and it will uh, extract the hidden skills talents of the employees also. Then profit maximization will helps the company uh, to boost up the sources of funds, and as well as to raise the cash reserves or profit reserves for the company. Then the next important argument in favor of profit maximization is efficient allocation of funds. So here, so if the company have enough and sufficient funds, it can meet the requirements relevant to the allocation of funds. So the company need to allocate funds to the different activities of business concern. It's about marketing activities, productional activities, sales activities, towards the HR means human resources, towards extensions, or towards the research and development. On many things, it has to allocate the resources or allocate the funds properly or according to the budget they have estimated. So here, the efficiency will be brought into the existence when the company earns sufficient profit, or when they have good cash reserves and profit reserves with them. So their company may meet its fund requirements according to its own desires and action plans. So then only it will be possible to run a business company without making any mistakes or reducing the errors. Then the next argument in favor of profit maximization is social welfare. So here, when the company have a sufficient profit and then only the company can contribute towards the social welfare. So here, if the company earns sufficient profit, it is possible to the company to pay taxes correctly or into the right time, and to pay sufficient dividends to the shareholders and good interest to the debenture holders as well as creditors, and providing fair salaries to the employees along with the financial benefits and non-financial benefits. And so if the company have sufficient profit, it can also diversify its products and move to the new products also, and it can provide a different variety and unique products to the customers based on their expectations, preferences, and choice sorry and tastes. So then it also contribute towards the welfare of employees' children by opening the quarters, schools, and education institutions for their children of the employees, and for other social causing activities also the company can contribute. So when the company has in a position of profit maximization, then the company, the next argument in favor of profit maximization is internal resource for expansion. So here, when the company have its own funds, so it can extend its resources internally, so it can allocate or it can assign the work properly or extend the work, or it can extend the resources also, or based on the plans it can do all these things. So but for internal resource expansion, there should be a proper profit, it should be with your own resource. Then, the next argument in favor of profit maximization is reduction in risk and uncertainty. So, here, if the company have a good profit or sufficient profit, or if the company is in the position of profit maximization, definitely it will help to reduce the various kinds of risk it may be faced in the competition. So though there is a changes in the environment, it can the company can adjust with those changes and face the risk. So there will be changes in financial conditions outside the company, or there will be a competition, or there may be a suddenly loss or shock or fall in demand for the goods and services. So it can observe the shocks and face the risk at any time if the company have its own sufficient profit. Then here there is no scope for uncertainty if the company backed up with the financial funds financially. So means the company, if you have sufficient funds and as well as profit, so it can estimate many things and prepare a plan for so many activities relevant to the business. And the uncertainty is only about nobody knows that future is uh, uncertain, certainty, future certainty. So that's only will become uncertain. Otherwise, if they have sufficient profit, if they are in a condition to meet the any kinds of risk and financial requirements, then it will be there is no uncertainty, or the reduced uncertainty is there. Then the next argument in favor of profit maximization is if the company have a good profit position, so there will be chances and possibilities of more competition. So the company may give more competition to the competitors by entering into a new market, or launching the new facility features products, or improvising the existing products. So in terms of qualities, quantity, prices, and the offers and discounts they want to provide, and attracting more customers or extending market share, um, then reaching all classes of people. So all this become easier to the company, and it can give more competition when it has a sufficient profit, or if it is in a position of a profit maximization. Then the next argument in favor of profit maximization is desire for control. So here the company can have a control on its sources and as well as its operations when it has a sufficient profit, or is in or if the company is in a good profit maximizing position. So means it can allocate the resources properly whenever they want. It can change so according to its desires and according to its wishes. The company may change the resources, extend the resources, or assign the task, and changes the plans and policies also. And it can use the resources up to the optimum level with when it's backed up with a good profit and financial conditions. So the desire for controlling all these things will become easier when the company have a sufficient profit. So it can use each and every resources which are there in the company. It will be a man, material, machine, money. So all this can be operated easily and in a proper way. So with the sufficient profits. Then the next argument in favor of profit maximization is here incentive. So incentive is all about the benefit it's going to give to the employees. It's an return to the investment of capital and reward for the employees' efforts. So the incentive has to be provided by the company in the forms of financial benefits or non-financial benefits. So in order to reward their efforts, identify their efforts, and make sure that they may contribute further and contribute 100% towards the achievement of company's goals and objectives. So, if the company has a good sufficient profit, it is possible to provide good incentives to their employees, and it can also enjoy some incentives in the form of profit. So then, the next argument in favor of profit maximization is survival. So here the company has to survive in the competition for the long time. So it has to face many kinds of risk and challenges. It has to face challenges from the external and internal also. From externally, it's going to face the challenges of competitors and changes in economic conditions, changes in policies, and changes in climate conditions. So many things it has to change. It has to face. So internally, it has to retain its employees for a long time, keep them updated, keep its technologies methods updated, and there will be a risk of operating machineries, assets, and take care of its total worth assets values, and uh, controlling the employees. So many things will be there. So all this can be operated then with the help of good sufficient profit. Then the company may survive for a long time if it has a continuous profit maximization nature. Then the next important argument in favor of profit maximization is about growth. So if the company want to grow up in its particular field of industry or business, it must have a sufficient funds of capital, and with the reserve profit, better to have its own capital rather than borrowing it from the lenders or creditors, or need not to depend much more on primary market or bankers. So if it has its own surplus cash reserves or profit, there will be a possibility for research and development, extending activities, expansional activities, improving products and services, and having a good relationship with employees and general public. So many things which are connected with the growth of company. So all this can be achieved when the company have sufficient profit, or if it is in a position of a good profit maximization. So these are all the important arguments So in favor of profit maximization of any business organization. So after discussing all these arguments in favor of business organization or maximization of a business organization, we'll come to know that so profit maximization is have a good many favorable things towards the organization or business company. So it may be like that survival. That means for survival, profit maximization is required. So optimum utilization and allocation of resources can be done with profit maximization. So if they have a good profit, then they can expand and they can meet the certain needs and requirements, and the company it can have a overall control on its employees as well as its on its operations of business. But at the same time, we also come to know that limits is there, and the benefits arises towards the stakeholders. Means it has to deal with the stakeholders in different ways. It has to charge and pay different rates of interest, dividends, or certain benefits it's going to provide with different classes of people like shareholders, customers, or employees, or bankers, or lenders, or investors. So many general public. So all this comes as a stakeholders. So whenever the company earns a maximum profit, so it has to deal with all these things with different approach. So with this, I conclude my session. Thank you.